Hi, it's Molly. Welcome back to my YouTube channel as we're going to take a look at the Pisces New Moon happening on February 20th, 2023 at 2:06 a.m. That's Eastern Time, so be sure and adjust for your location on the planet. We have a new moon every month, and this one is occurring at 1 degree of Pisces, 22 minutes, where the sun and the moon are conjunct at this location in your chart. So you want to identify which house you have this energy in. The house is the area of life where the energies show up and express themselves. And I do have a video for you here on YouTube called How to Find a Degree Point in Your Chart if you need help identifying where 1 degrees of Pisces is for you. So with this new beginning, it activates Pisces energies that we are meant to trust and open up to over this lunar cycle. And so the Pisces energies help us with detaching, working with our imagination, our intuition, our creativity. This is also the energy of needing a break, needing time off, looking at where you're ready to take care of your energy, especially if you've been very busy and involved in a lot of things. There could be a sense here of, okay, I'm ready for some downtime in order to take care of my energy and also come back to myself. Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac. It's the last sign in the astrological wheel before the new year begins on the March 20th, 21st equinox. So basically, when the sun moves into Aries, we begin a whole new annual cycle. But here we are in Pisces season, which is also a time to reflect on how far you've come, what you've moved through, how you have spiritually advanced and grown. And with the Pisces new moon, you could have new insights around that. What you've been spiritually learning, where you have been working with perhaps the energies of detachment, or looking at where you're ready to trust more and have faith, where you're also ready to understand what is unfolding, how change is happening in your life outside of your control. And how does that feel for you? How are you trusting and partnering with the universe? Pisces is a sign of duality, and it's the merging of our human self with our spiritual selves. It's how we can effortlessly flow between different realms, go up into the spiritual realms, come back down into the human realms, although, of course, energetically, it's all residing within us. But the Pisces energy brings our attention to, what am I ready to let go of? What am I ready to let go of? And this could be something that you've already been aware of, but with a new moon in Pisces, it's interesting because there's a dichotomy there where Pisces is about the completions, the endings, the letting go, and the new moon is about the new awareness around those themes. So again, you could have new insights into your spiritual path, into what you are developing spiritually, those spiritual muscles. The Pisces energy also wants us to remember to go higher. Look at what you're ready to rise above, what you're ready to see in a new way or in a new light. Now, this particular new moon is very important because, as you can see here, we have Saturn in the final degrees of Aquarius. So 28 degrees of Aquarius, 10 minutes. And the Saturn is going to enter Pisces on March 7th, the first time it's been in Pisces since the mid-1990s. And then it's going to make a conjunction here to this exact degree point of the Pisces new moon 3 times throughout 2023. So Saturn is going to be here March 20th, October 3rd, and December 5th. So there's a seriousness to this new moon, a sense of what are you truly committing to energetically? What are you understanding about what you want to develop and grow throughout the rest of this year? Because when Saturn gets to this degree point, Saturn helps to materialize energies, helps to make something real, wants to give it a form, a shape, make it tangible. So this is where the Pisces energies are actually going to have an opportunity to materialize those dreams, those visions, what your intuition has been telling you. Saturn is going to walk in the door and Saturn is going to make it real. So it's a very important new moon here with this Saturn coming into this exact degree point 3 times throughout 2023, bringing your attention to even what you've been working on spiritually, what you've been developing, where you've been trusting, where you've had faith. Again, this can be about your creativity, your imagination, things that you're like, oh, it's just a dream. I don't know if that would ever happen. Well, in the door walks Saturn, and Saturn makes things happen. Saturn supports our manifestation in the physical world. And because Saturn goes back and forth here 3 times in 2023, this new moon is really asking you to also open up to something new in yourself that you're really wanting to commit to, energetically commit to. You're like, yes, I want this for me. And I feel like there's something here where there's a partnership with spirit, with Pisces, and it's sort of like if you've been wanting, faithing, trusting, allowing, surrendering, healing, Saturn is going to help with whatever this next version of that manifestation may be. So again, this is a new moon on February 20th. 1 month later, on March 20th, Saturn is sitting right here in the same point in your chart. The first time it's been here in nearly 28 to 30 years. So this makes this new moon potent, significant, important, and be very intentional with what is coming through for you at this time and what you're wanting to develop going forward. Also, during this new moon, we have Pluto at 29 degrees of Capricorn, and Pluto is going to enter Aquarius on March 23rd, 24th. So we just have 1 more month of this Pluto in Capricorn, where it will enter Aquarius and stay for a few months before returning back to these final degrees of Capricorn. So Pluto does a crossover between Capricorn and Aquarius, 2023 and 2024. But also know that this is the first time Pluto has reached this degree point. So there's something here that we are graduating from, we are understanding, we are moving forward, we are deeply evolving and transforming it. And I feel too like there's something with this Pluto that's going to continually help us move through any final blocks or fears, especially fears that you've had about the Capricorn areas of your life or areas of your chart that maybe you haven't known how to move through. I feel like there's something here that this new moon could show you the higher areas of growth that are important. Now, this particular Pluto is making a sextile to Venus at 29 degrees of Pisces, 57 minutes, nearly the very, very end of the whole zodiac wheel. And with the help of Pluto making that sextile to Venus, this does show you perhaps some of the relationship lessons, relationship healing, relationship cycles that you're completing. This is big karmic completion. This can also relate to anything Venus rules, which is money, finances, self-worth, your own love of self, your own ability to be who you are and feel worthy of your expression and energy. This is another powerful ending point that is beautifully supported. It feels positive with that sextile from Pluto, and it feels like, again, some kind of chapter is closing out here that maybe has held a lot of karma. This is karmic closings. This is done, final, over energies, because that connection to Pluto brings up the bigger journey of it all, brings up the bigger spiritual understandings that you've been moving through. So I feel like there's something ending here that you probably feel good about. Like, okay, I'm really ending that cycle or that chapter in my life. There is significance here with this Venus at the very end of the whole zodiac wheel. Now, she had a conjunction to Neptune, and Neptune in Pisces is the ruler of this Pisces new moon. And this Neptune is I would say it is working with Pluto. They're 5 degrees apart, which is actually pretty far for them. Both Neptune and Pluto have been in an ongoing sextile for over a century now. But as this Neptune moves ahead into new degrees, Neptune is going to move to 25, 26, 27 degrees of Pisces this year. This is also more big endings in our spiritual path and more things closing out that we've been traveling with for lifetimes. So you can see we have these 4 planets in Pisces. And there is, it's like there's this overlap of karmic endings, closures, things that are not meant to travel forward with you anymore, and you feel it. Like you just sense it. You're like, I know I'm done with that. I know that's over for me. Maybe you feel like, oh, I don't even have a connection to that anymore. I don't have a response. I'm not even feeling energetically tied to it. And then here, the new moon in the early degrees of Pisces are helping us birth and emerge into new parts of our spiritual path. So that's what I'm seeing in this chart, is that there are some big significant closing energies here that you've probably already been feeling and sensing for a bit. And then the Pisces new moon opens up the next chapter of the spiritual growth of whatever you're meant to work with that's coming through. And again, with Saturn coming to this degree point in March, October, and December, it's like next level. It feels like a next level advancement, a next level choice, a next level manifestation. So it's a next level energy here because of what you're closing out and making room for. You know what? It's like something is fading away. You know, the color is getting softer. The energy around it is subsiding. It's just fading into the background here in these final degrees of Pisces. And then the new is coming in, and maybe that could feel stronger, more vibrant. So it's a very interesting mix here of perhaps feeling like, okay, I understand what is over for me, and I'm also very ready for the new and what's coming through. A few more things to share about the chart. Mercury in Aquarius is happy in Aquarius. Mercury always does well in the air signs. And in Aquarius, there is a higher connection to different frequencies, new ideas, new concepts. This could feel like a very social time even, especially with this Mercury making a trine to Mars in Gemini. Yeah, we're still talking about Mars in Gemini. It's been there since August and will remain here in Gemini for another month. This Mars will move into Cancer, I believe, around March 23rd, 24th. So we still have Mars in his retrograde shadow territory, trining this Mercury. This is conversations, communications, feeling like things are a go, that there's movement. There's a sense of things are opening. I'm going to do this. A lot of energy around, you know, what you're putting together, what you're saying, what you're communicating. So this is a great interaction here with this Mercury trining Mars. And then both are connecting with this Chiron at 13 degrees of Aries. And this Jupiter is at 9 degrees of Aries, 57 minutes, nearly 10 degrees. So there's a sense here of something new that maybe you're developing the courage to go for it, because this Chiron is where we can feel vulnerable and insecure. And in Aries, we're learning to trust ourselves, learning to be independent, do it on your own. But here comes Jupiter that supports and enhances those Aries qualities. So there could be a sense of, you could even feel like something is building up. And I feel like this particular Chiron in Aries, because he was in retrograde and is now direct, see how this Chiron is a key? The glyph is in a shape of a key. It's the key to your healing, the key to more wisdom, the key to understanding what has been within you that's been unconscious. And I feel like there's something here that you already know you want to do. You already are aware of maybe the next step, the new adventure, something again that's pushing you to do it on your own. And as Jupiter gets closer to this Chiron, Jupiter says, all right, let's go. And Jupiter really turns up the fire, adds more gas to the flames. And there could be a sense that you're even feeling something building up, something coming together, something that, again, you're just sensing it. This is also your body consciousness. I also feel like this Chiron is part of our cellular renewal. And it's how we feel new in ourselves, new within our own energetic field, new within our physical bodies. So there could be something here that you're generally getting a sense of, okay, it's coming together, it's connecting, something is happening in the Aries parts of your chart here that you're just trusting. And then as this Jupiter is exactly conjunct Chiron, there could be something that is just a resounding yes, I'm ready, I'm gonna do it. Because this Chiron will also show you your limitations and where you have withheld your energy. And so I feel like we're building up to something, especially as we go into Aries season, in March and April, that you're like, I'm ready for this. I've worked for this. I can do this. And so it overall feels very encouraging. And it's encouraging because of that Jupiter coming through with a huge assist for what this Chiron in Aries has been healing. So overall, this Pisces new moon is actually one that can reward your spiritual growth, reward your spiritual maturity. Keep in mind, Saturn is rewards and results. Saturn is, you've been working on this and I've been seeing it and watching it, and I understand and know what you have developed in this part of your chart. So this Saturn can help with what you're ready to move into next, that next level, the new start, the next beginning. And remember, this energy is going to play out throughout 2023. Again, the dates are March 20th, October 3rd, and December 5th. So whatever you begin here around February 20th, it can have legs for a longer term than perhaps you anticipated, or that's even not something we would expect normally from a new moon. So that's why this new moon is significant, because of Saturn coming in. And I will editorialize here and tell you, I love Saturn. So I have good Saturn energy in my chart. And I feel like, I know that Saturn gets a lot of hard knocks because he brings in the challenges. He brings in the stuff we have to work for and stuff we don't always want to do. So that can come up too, depending on how you use Pisces energy. You could have a reluctance with Pisces. You could have a procrastination. It could feel emotionally overwhelming or energetically overwhelming. But then Saturn comes in, and Saturn is like, we're going to break it down into manageable pieces. We're going to give you a roadmap. We're going to have a strategy here so that this can happen and come together. So overall, it's a Pisces new moon to really focus on those next level manifestations. And we'll keep talking about that Saturn in Pisces as well on my weekly podcast. And I already have done podcast episodes for you about Saturn in Pisces this year, as Saturn will travel from 0 to 7 degrees of Pisces. So be sure and check out those podcast episodes if you want to get a heads up on that energy for yourself. So as always, thank you so much for joining me here. I appreciate your likes, your subscribes, your comments. Thank you so much for sharing this as well with your friends and in your groups. I do hope it helps other people understand their own energy and to plan accordingly. Plan and be ready for that next level manifestation. I'll see you back here really soon.